and welcome. I'm John, and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, I'm blown away by the amount of subscribers. You know, we're up to 64, I think it is, at the time of filming this. Well, guys, if you're new here, you know, sit back, relax. You know, this is a very simple one. If you're a regular here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, now normally in my intro I give you a little heads up what I'm doing this week. We're going to do expanding foam work this week. I did an expanding foam video a while back, showing you templates and all that sort of stuff. And the amount of views it has is absolutely insane. I think it's nearly up to 800 views or something. You know, it's insane. So since then, I've done a few expanding foam bits and pieces. For example, I did the gaming boards, but I did the expanding foam on it first of all, and I cocked it all up. But that cock up gave me better ideas, and showed me a few easy ways of doing things. So what we're going to do today, we're going to make a template up, and here's what we're going to need. Okay, you need these bits. Okay, that's a model tray you put models into. You'll need these bits. Now usually they come with a little bit of paper on the back, which is double-sided sticky tape underneath. Okay, we've got a big piece of card. All right, I've marked down where I'm going to put the card that these into, and what we're going to do with that, we're going to make a castle wall. Okay, but we're not going to explain, because each time you're going to go, what? We're going to use these onto the card. Okay, let's stick them onto the card to make brickwork. Okay, I don't even know if I've got enough here, but we're going to go for it. Then what we're going to do, we're going to put a sheet of greaseproof paper over it. I'm going to turn it, okay, so the expanding foam goes underneath. Now here's the idea of this. The expanding foam will expand up, and it'll push the foam really small, or push it halfway, or whatever way across the whole wall. So when it's dry and, you know, finished expanding, with a little bit of work, a little bit of sculpting work with a blade to pick out just the grooves between them, you should have a castle wall that's all higgledy-piggledy. Now, the idea of this is, I wanted to do two, but I haven't got enough of these. But as soon as I have one template, I get another can of expanding foam and do it another day. You then get your two pieces, put them together, and you've got a castle wall. Okay? For very, very, very easy, very quick. Well, not very quick, it says 3 or 4 hours to dry, but very easy, very little effort. This is the hardest part, putting this together. Okay? That's the first part. The second part, well, I've actually got a massive can because this is actually €8, whereas the others were smaller for €10. So I thought, get this big one, because I've got loads of things down here that I can use as templates to make mushrooms, and, you know, all sorts of different bits and pieces. So that's going to be the second part with the extra bits left over. Now the third part, there's 3 parts to what I'm doing here. The third part, I have a template marked out the same as this one, but I'm not doing nothing too fancy in it. I'm going to, look, I could spray it in there as make a board, okay, and then cut the board to make, you know, crystals and blah 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 blah, and all these different bits and pieces. But I'm going to try something insane. Now a cleaning bottle, it's been washed out, it's just full of water. So the plan is to squirt some expanding foam down, scoop some to one side, and squirt it with water. Or squirt it with water first, then scoop it to one side. And hand sculpt it. Some of you are going to go, what? I've seen this done, not in our field, but in a totally different, you know, aspect of life. And I've seen them hand sculpt it with the water. And the way it should work is the water gets on the expanding foam and it's heavier. It tries to get to the lowest point, but the expanding foam is trying to push up, so it creates like a barrier and it holds it there. That's the principle behind it. I'm not going to claim, oh, it's my idea. I saw it done and I was like, So guys, that's what we're going for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this template. I'll come back to you when that's done, because it's a pain in the ass to do. Set up some more greaseproof paper and get all the other templates ready to go. I'll film myself, you know, doing it and sculpting and everything else. Don't panic. I'll see you in a second, guys. I'm just going to jump in at this point. Okay, look, they're all stuck down. Okay, but it's not. Zoom in. I've still got a pile here. Okay, this is what basic template is. This is where I'm going to do the hand sculpting. This is what I'm going to use to do that. Thing is, as you can see, the card isn't wide enough, so it gives me a little space here. Excuse me, a little space here for it to escape if it needs to. Okay, if I put too much in, because I don't know the ratio. I haven't read this yet, the can yet, to work out the ratio, but this, well, I say read the can. I have to try and figure out the ratio, but anyway, that's where I'm at. Guys, I'll see you in a second. As you can see, it's all ready to go. Some of you say, what's this? They're cavalry ones. So when you have cavalry trays, you have the bigger squares, okay? And I didn't realise I had as many as I did, otherwise I would have done this top and bottom. So you could easily cut it in half and have 2 bits of wall, but anyway, never mind. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in a second. So now, I've done the template. I put greaseproof paper around it. I'm going to show you in a second. Masking tape to the card. Now, the thing you've got to bear in mind and remember, the greaseproof paper does not allow anything to stick to it, including sellotape or masking tape or anything like that. So you just have to be very, very careful. So when I handle it now, I'm going to be all like very gentle with it, because I don't want it pulling off. Okay, so there's the back of it. Okay, see it already starting to come off at the bottom here. There's the other side. Okay. Small masking tape on there because it's starting to pull off. I don't want it to come away. The other thing you have to do, I have to reinforce the template side so it doesn't blow out, and with the card I have to be staying on top so it doesn't push up in the middle. Now guys, I'm going to put it back on in a minute. Right, so here we are. After that, you'll see, you go, oh my goodness, what happened there? I started sculpting the skull, okay. It looks okay. I've got the initial bits. I was going to do the teeth as well, that's why I've got a skewer here. And I said, no, you know what, it'd be easier if I just had the rough shape of the jaw, yeah, and just use a blade to cut it afterwards. Okay, so that's, I did that. I thought, okay, let's leave that now. I don't want to do too much to it, and it all starts messing out on me. So I said, let me go and do something else with the rest of it. Just all on my hands and everything. I was going to make some sort of like blast crater, or, you know, I thought, okay, let me make something I can actually sit this into. But as you saw on the hyperlapse, the more I was working it, the more it just fell apart on me. Now, I think the initial bit, when you spray it, I think you have a couple of minutes before it starts going unworkable, which would make sense, because look, did that in the first couple of minutes of having it on, having it out of the can, and that was 5, 6, 7 minutes afterwards. And you see on the hyperlapse, as soon as I started touching it started falling to bits, more and more of a mess. I mean, that's still going to expand out into a nice little mound of something, but that's looking good. Yeah, there's the extra bits I did there. Let's come around here and say, what are these for? What's going on there? If you're new to the channel, guys, go back and look at the mushroom video. You'll see how I made, or Go scroll all the way down and see the expanded foam video first, and you'll see how what these are done for. These are used for mushrooms, monuments. You know, use them on columns, pillars, anything. Okay, because when that comes out, that should mushroom out the top there, as you can see this one's doing already. Okay, and this one, yeah, but it'll keep mushrooming out. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go and clean myself up and leave this to dry. I'll see you after, guys. So as you just saw on the hyperlapse and that, the skull is coming together nicely. It needs a bit of sculpt work done to it, but the initial idea is absolutely amazing. Very, very simple, very, I'm going to bring you down in a minute and show you, unravel everything. The one that actually turned to mush at the back there, that's actually puffed up quite nice. So it's actually okay. It's actually puffed up more than the other little blobs I have. Now the castle wall, looking at it initially on this side of it, it looks like it's blown out a little bit. It shouldn't be a problem, but it might have just, instead of being straight, it might have just blown out a bit, which means I need to try and trim it down, which is going to be a pain in the ass. But it should be easy to trim because the bricks are in a straight line. That's why I did the lines first of all, to know where I'm doing. Now, the skull, so it needs a little bit of work, probably a little bit of sand, a little bit of sculpting, especially on the teeth. But the initial contours, the initial bit of it is there, and to be honest, I could actually just give that little sand down, a little trim up here and there, a little bit of filler here and there, and actually give that a paint down, and that could actually be either based or just freestanding and be put on the battlefield. It's actually, it could be done like that. It's not a problem. Bit of flock on top or something like that. It'd look okay. But yeah, I'm going to bring you down and show you in a second, guys, and we'll unveil the wall, the castle wall, and have a look at it at the same time. Guys, I'll see you in a second. Right, guys, there's the skull. So it needs a little bit of sculpt work along the teeth here. Okay, so I just thought it'd be easier for me to sculpt the teeth afterwards. Okay, it's not too bad. It's nice, relatively flat at the bottom. See the eyes on it and the rough nose. I think that's pretty good. And that's absolutely amazing for what I did. Here's the blob that turned to mush. It's actually come out pretty well. Okay, it has come out pretty well. It's actually still wet under there. There's still water underneath. It is outside. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, guys, I have to let them know if I can turn that volume down. Let's sit in my yard blowing music out. Right, so let's get this unwrapped. I can see the imprints all over the... No. Oh, yeah. Bear with me a second, let me get on the other side. I already know what the problem with this straight away. Not enough. I didn't put enough in there. Okay, you come round back round. Ah, shit. I can already see. Can you see on there? You can't see because of the light. Oh my lordy. Now I can see, get the blade out point out. I can see where it hit the line. There's the line. Can you see the brickwork just coming through on it? So it was good. Even the bottom here, you can see where the bigger piece was. It was good, and it looks like it started to work. I just didn't put enough into it. That's a pain in the arse, that is. But I suppose, let me just have a... So you can, let me get that on it. So you can see there, oh no, you can't see there because it's taking the way around. So you can see there where I've cut around it. I mean, it sort of worked, but it didn't work as well as I wanted it to. I didn't use enough in there. That's what the problem is. And see straight away that's the problem. I was panicking with ratios. I didn't want to put too much, and it blows it all out, and didn't put enough. And you know, I'll try this again. I will try this again because that's very sound, very easy idea, and it sort of worked. I can feel the texture of the bricks as I run my hand across it, and you can see the bricks coming out on it. You see where I cut, just cut around the brick. You can see it's absolutely pain in the ass, but it's a good idea, and I know I need to use more now. So anyway, see you in a second, guys. Right, so what do we learn? This is a sound idea. Okay, these bricks, can you see that in there? No, you can't. That's a sound idea with the foam. I just need to use more. I need to probably test it once or twice more to figure out the ratio that I would need. What I might need on top of it as well is a heavier weight, because I only had this small piece of MDF. Okay, I probably should have used this big boy. That's what I probably should have used on top of it. That would have held it down and forced it more into it. Yeah, but that's something you're looking at and go, oh, but that's not a waste. That's not a waste at all, because that's actually very thin. You can see it's very thin and it's very flat. Okay, so it's not blowed out or anything. It's actually quite nice. So that could easily be just beveled and turned into like a ruins. It's a freestanding ruins then, which is actually, I might do that. Again, look, there's the other piece, and it's nice and bevel the edges. Stonework, stonework and block, nice heel. But this is what I'm most impressed with. Let me stand too close to the light, sorry. This is what I'm most impressed with. Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. The eyes, the nose, carve the teeth in, sort the head out a little bit. See, I could even leave this bit on top and turn this into stone and just make it look like sediment that starts to collect on the head and everything else. But with this, and you saw in the hyperlax bit of it, the speed up version, I sprayed this, I started sculpting it by hand. Okay, it's great, fantastic. I started sculpting the next bit. I think that bit was left too long. I think it had already started to form a slight crust on the outside. So when I started mixing it and started trying to sculpt it, it just went. But it has expanded into a nice little shape, which could be a nice piece of rocky terrain. So it's not a total loss. Even if it hadn't, I'd still use this for something. So I think when you're doing it, I think it would have to be spray your foam, spray it, start sculpting straight away. Of course, when you're using expanding foam, you can't just spray it and leave that till later. You have to keep going with the foam. So it's always a good idea to have everything set up. So you're going to go for this, you're going to go for that, you're going to go for this, you're going to go for that. Now, I'm definitely going to try the stone wall again, because that's a very sound idea. I'll try and get it right next time. I might film it, I may not, see how we go. But I'm probably going to work on this. This is going to be, I'm pleased with that. So I think I've just changed the way that we use expanding foam a little bit. and it's difficult to do it with one can because you've got. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy, guys.